Hey, so we have Ann Hole here, which is an honor to be here with you and having you share this vital information with all our viewers about yourself. And I just wanted you to share on behalf of yourself your resume, because you got quite the resume in powerlifting. So you've been at it for over 7 years now or so?
Yeah. So I started powerlifting. My first competition was in 2017. I started training in 2016. Based on my trainer. I thought bodybuilding was an option, and he said, well, your diet's going to be dead on. And I was like, oh, no, that's probably not going to work for me. So he suggested powerlifting because it's not subjective. It's you either pick it up or you don't. So I was like, I'm in.
Right, so now, was this trainer, was he also trained in powerlifting, or did he just point you to another trainer?
No, he was actually just a conventional trainer, just a physical trainer, and we learned together.
Oh, okay.
Powerlifting.
So has he, has his knowledge grown over the years since you've seen him? Is he still training people in powerlifting today?
He's not, no. He trains some of the lifts for strength training, but not to compete.
Okay.
I think leading him was the hardest thing to do, to grow, to find a bigger, or a powerlifting coach that knew what they were doing.
Right.
Because technique is important.
It is.
So I had to, say
Make some
goodbye.
sacrifices, yes.
Yeah, so that was the toughest thing, was to say goodbye to him and find another powerlifting coach.
How did you end up, tearing your Achilles tendon?
Oh yeah, I ruptured it. I was doing triathlons. I was doing triathlons, and I was doing one a month, and it didn't work well.
So what inspired you to change over to lifting? Was it that injury to?
I needed goals. I'm goal oriented, so I needed something to, going to the gym is okay, but I need a goal. There's got to be an end result.
Right.
So powerlifting was okay. This is what we need to focus on. This is the end result. Is April or August was my first meet with USAPL. That was the goal.
Right. So you accomplished that, and you ended up going on to your first nationals in 2019, right? Or what's that you said?
I went to regionals.
It was a regional.
I went to regionals. Yeah, went to regionals. And
how did that turn out for you? Was happy with that?
I was happy. I pulled some numbers I hadn't pulled before, and I usually PR'd right on the platform that I've never done in the gym. Usually about 20%.
Right.
So I was, pulling my first 300 was really.
Must have felt amazing.
It was amazing, because I was coachless. I was down in Virginia competing with a bunch of other people that I trained with down in Virginia, and I was, I'm not used to reporting my numbers to the table. I'm always, when my coach reported, I just pull.
Right.
I don't want to know what it is. And
you just do.
Just do.
And just do.
Yep. And it's kilos. So for me to convert it from kilos to pounds and pounds to kilos is, it's just a number. Just a number. So.
Well, you got you into running meets, especially this all women's meet here.
I started meet directing a year ago. New Hampshire state chair asked me if I would meet direct with him, and I was like, sure, So I did, and then he said he was stepping away from it.
Gotcha.
So I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing this now.
Looks like you got the hang of it pretty well.
I think it comes with age, You know what you like, what you don't like, right? You go to other meets, you see what they do, you critique their meets. What could they have done better, or what would I have done better or different?
To improve.
So the first powerlifting all-female meet I did was 4 years ago down in New Jersey.
Was it Powerlifter? Or
it wasn't. It was Femini Fatale.
Oh, okay.
So Kate was running the meet down there. So I went down because it was important for me to compete with other women, because it's still pretty new, and USPA is still new in New England. So there aren't a lot of female lifters.
Yeah.
If I went to USAPL, there's competition, right? So USPA, because when you were still growing, I have to travel to get competition.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because it's fairly recent here.
Yeah.
Now,
So that was a start.
what advice would you give to young female lifters coming into powerlifting?
Oh, don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. Just go in and do it. You know, you need good technique, but that comes with time. But yeah, don't be afraid to go in and pick a bar up. You know, work with your friends, find a mentor.
Which is important,
Right.
someone to help guide you. Now, what do you see happening in the future with? Do you plan to run another Powerella or?
I do. Powerlifting is something near and dear to me. It started last year.
Right.
So, looking at the other states that I run meets in, New Hampshire, Maine, I'm now taking on New Jersey.
Okay,
So, yeah, there's more, at least one meet a year in those states for women to get together and just compete and just have fun. This is the first time I've run drug tested and non-tested at the same time.
Okay.
Like on the same day. So.
Yeah, there's like, definitely.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot to get through. But, it's like having two complete meets.
In one day, yeah.
So.
But either way, they both turned out pretty good.
Yeah, I thought the turnout was really well. That we had 30 registered for drug tested. We had 10 registered for non-tested. This is the first time I've done a non-tested female meet, so. But non-tested is not really big in the female community. I think they're afraid of what non-tested means.
Yeah, they might pick up the wrong impression when they hear it.
Right, they think it's steroids. There's, there are other things that people are doing to enhance their lifting, and that's not necessarily true. Our federation allows an opportunity for people who are taking medications for medical reasons to compete, where other federations give medical exemptions. We don't. We just allow you to compete.
That makes a lot of sense because I know USAPO is different. So, especially when it comes to the rules on that, they go by a different method with, I know, medications and things that they allow and don't allow. So, but that's good that it covers, for those exact reasons. If it's medical, then you don't have to worry about the stress of it. So,
yeah, it's definitely. I think it does put a lot of stress on some people, but. So far,
when they're first thinking about, in general, it could be stressful. So, how many meets would you have said you ran over the years?
Over the year and a half that I've been doing it?
Or just also, you've only been doing it for, so over this year and a half.
This year and a half, I think I have logged in 10 meets.
10 meets?
I've done 10 meets.
Then that's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
So you probably picked up a lot from just doing that.
Yeah, and each one is different. Every meet is a different meet. Like in Maine, we have a meet December 2nd and 3rd. Well, 2nd, 20th, and 3rd is the meet. That sold out in 2.5 days. We have 62 lifters. It sold out in 2.5 days. It's insane up there. But it just says that we're doing something right, and we,
Right, yeah.
They want it here, right. So in other areas, it's less than 30 lifters. I've run a 4-person meet at the beginning of this year for non-tested. And I called my furthest person who was coming out from Buffalo, New York, and asked him, I'm like, there's 4 of you. Is there a reason why you're coming out? And he's like, yeah, I want to qualify for the North Americans. So I'm like, okay, then I'll run it. I'll keep it going, Because for someone to make that distance, that travel, there's a reason, not just because they like to lift.
Right, yeah, coming up to the especially getting something, especially getting qualifications, to go on to North American championships and whatnot, So.
Yeah. So it's important for me that the lifters get what they're looking for, and I'm certainly open for criticism, and if someone's not happy with something, I'm,
You're all ears, yeah?
Yeah, talk to me, and let's make it better.
What's one thing you think you could improve on, running these meets?
I'm really bad at announcing I'm really bad at that. I do it.
You
but
try.
I try. But yeah, I think I lack some of that spark that other people have when announcing, to keep people engaged, and I'm also afraid of like overstepping the referees, because like today they're all state referees, right? I'm a national referee. So for me to not make a comment about a lift because I don't know what they're going to be calling, you know,
right.
I know what I'm seeing, but I don't necessarily know if they see it. So, and no announcer should make the call before the judges. The judges do. So that, you know, I struggle with that. I know you probably heard me yelling a couple of times, take it, you know.
Yeah.
When someone's struggling, you know, it's like, you know, my gut instinct is to just want to just jump up and help.
Yeah.
Help them. But yeah, I think that's what I struggle the most, is the announcing part.
But overall, you'd say you're pretty happy with this meet and how it ran today?
I am. You know, there was a computer glitch there, switching over, that, you know, that helped me up in about 10 minutes, but we got through it. You know, I think the hardest thing for me is sponsorships.
It's tough to get the sponsorships.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did really well with this one because it's an all-female meet.
Right.
But for every other meet, just general powerlifting, that's the biggest struggle with sponsors. I have two main sponsors for a year, and that's Move Weight and Cerberus.
Okay, so Cerberus Strength is...
Yeah, Cerberus Strength has been with me since day one.
Yeah, and I follow those guys and those Instagram bits, so I definitely see a lot of their videos and whatnot. So
yeah, so those are two main sponsors.
That's good though. So you got to start somewhere, you know. So,
it is. It's tough though. It's tough. It's, you know.
I mean, I figure over the years, you know, or however long you keep on running meets, you'll, you know, eventually gain more sponsors over time anyways, because more people will see, as you said, USPA is growing. So when they see how successful these meets are turning out, you know, they may be on board for your, you know, future meets. So.
Yeah, I think it's important for, you know, meet directors to be, you know, with, you know, in the moment with your lifters and not just standoffish. And I think if, you know, it's important for me to make, you know, like I was going around making sure that, you know, hey, you okay? Is everything all right? And, you know, and it seemed to be okay. Good feedback, so, you know, and people are coming. I think if you're a good director and you put on a good
then they'll want to come to
they'll
the
come
meets.
back. They'll come back.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to go to a terrible meet.
No.
You know, you go once, you never go back again.
You're definitely correct on that one. Nobody wants to experience, you know, a bad time, especially if it's the first time coming out to lift, or, you know. So I mean, for sure you could tell, like when you walk in here, especially with your meet, the atmosphere was alive. You know what I mean? It was very lively, a lot of support. Everybody seemed to be having a good time anyway, so you could tell, like, many lifters would return for this, you know, if we did it again.
Women are different than men. The vibe of women lifting is so different when it's just them.
Right. It's like its own little world there.
Yeah, it's, you know, like you saw some women were singing and, you know, they're dancing and, you know, on the sides, and, you know, I'm all about, you know, it's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, as long as they're having fun, yeah.
Have fun. You could dance on the platform for a minute before you pull the weight. Have fun.
Well, I just want to thank you for your time today, and thank you for sharing with us. We hope that we can, you know, especially cover your next future meet here, you know, and, you know, have this conversation again.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for sitting with me.
No problem. Anytime.
Sure.
Thanks, Anne.
Thanks.